People don't like these messages, bro, but I'm going to keep giving them. Okay? I'm going to keep coming with this because it's what I've been created to do. Okay? I'm not here for status. I'm not here for clout. I'm not here for honors of men. I'm not here to be liked. No, I'm here to spread divine love and life and all things good. Okay? Now let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to continue this right away.
The scripture says that Japheth will be dwelling in the tents of Shem. Okay? That is exactly what has happened. The Europeans, known today as the Europeans, they are the seed of Japheth. Okay? They're the Gentiles of the scripture. Okay? And the melanated people upon the earth are either Ham or Shem. Okay? Yes, the melanated people of the earth is either Ham or Shem. But it's the copper-colored people. You know? Well, the copper-colored people is the Shemites, okay? The seed of Shem. The copper-colored people is the seed of Shem. Alright? And then you have your raven type color melanin, okay? Your raven, you know, like I don't want to say dark, bro, but deep color, like I'll just say deep color like the raven, okay? Like, bro, I try to avoid these terms like dark because dark has a lot of negative connotations attached with it, okay? But deep could replace that for me, okay? In my opinion. All right. A deep brown, okay? But, you know, like a raven. You know, like a raven, okay? That's your Hamites, okay? Many of your Hamites.
Alright, so you see this, alright? I pulled up a couple of pictures, alright? This is a picture of like a Hamite, okay? And you see how dark they depicted them. Well, I just said dark, okay? You see how they depicted them on the walls, okay? Alright? This is how they depicted themselves on the walls, okay? Very, very deeply, richly melanated, okay? A deep, rich melanin, alright? Like the raven. Now, Shem and Ham are both melanated, you know, bloodlines, okay? Ham, this is from the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. So the powers that be that constructed this reality, they know this because it's in their dictionaries, okay? So Ham, the youngest son of Noah, the progenitor of what they call the dark races, not the Negroes, okay? They literally put this in the book, okay, in their dictionary. They said they put not the Negroes because they know who the so-called quote-unquote Negroes are. They know that the quote-unquote Negroes are American, okay? But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites, okay? So they knew the difference between us. But this was all systematic, okay? Because they wanted to take the people of this land, the American, and make us African. So that Japheth, who's dwelling in the tents of Shem, can just have this land to himself. Okay? But this land was stolen. Okay? This is a website, alright, that community uses to read ancient texts. What must be understood is that these people are imposters, and because of that, they do have access to our actual Israelite history in their possession, since they are claiming to be the Israelites. And in these writings, in their own sources, they know the sons of Ham and the sons of Shem are the melanated people, okay? Melanated people, okay? Richly melanated. All right? And they know that Japheth is the father of the Caucasian race. All three progenitors were blessed, okay? So, you see this here from that website, okay? Now, 1 second. Nimrod and the Tower of Babel, okay? Noah brought his sons and grandsons. He blessed them with their several settlements, okay? We all had land, okay? The three sons of Noah and all their posterity, they all had land, okay? All three sons had a part of the earth, allotted to them, okay? Japheth had the cold lands. Ham had the hot lands. And Shem was given the lands that are neither hot nor cold, okay? We all had an inheritance, okay, of the earth, okay? He blessed Shem and his sons, making them richly melanated but comely, okay? And he gave them the habitable earth, okay? The seasonable earth, okay? The lands with seasons. He blessed Ham and his sons, making them richly melanated like the raven, okay? And he gave them an inheritance, the coast of the sea, okay? But they had the hot lands, okay? He blessed Japheth. He blessed Japheth and his sons, making them, quote unquote, entirely white. And he gave them for an inheritance for the desert and its fields. These are the inheritance with which he endowed them. But they were given the freaking cold lands, bro. So, I don't know of any cold lands in the desert, year round, so I don't agree with everything written, okay? So hold on a second. Here's another source. Alright. The historical texts of the Hebrew writings confirm the writings in Scripture that Shem and Ham were indeed richly melanated, as the Scriptures multiple times states that the Israelites and Egyptians were often confused with each other. Okay? Joseph and an Egyptian, Moses and an Egyptian. Also confirmed is the fact that the 10 tribes are indeed in America, okay? So I don't agree with this. This person is indoctrinated. I didn't create this meme, okay? They're not in Africa. They are over here because this is the land where Joseph and his people were dwelling, okay? They cast off the Book of Mormon. They don't read the Book of Mormon. That's why they don't have that understanding that the 10 tribes are over here. Okay, so you see that's what we read, okay? Now, they try to claim that we're all from Africa, but we're not, okay? Let's see. They claim that the 10 tribes is in Africa, but I don't agree with that. Alright, it makes more sense that they're over here. Now, 1 second. So I got a lot of these receipts. Alright. They, the Egyptians, are descendants of Noah's youngest son Ham, who was richly melanated, okay? Psalms 105:23. Alright. Now Joseph's own brothers, they thought he was an Egyptian in Genesis 42:23. Alright, Moses of the tribe of Levi was mistaken for an Egyptian by Pharaoh. Alright, Exodus 2:10 through 11. Now, other Israelites, Exodus 2:13, and by a Midian priest, 7 daughters, Exodus 2:9. Okay? So the Messiah himself from the tribe of Judah hid among the Egyptians, Matthew 2:13. Okay? And Paul which was, I disagree that he was from the tribe of Benjamin, because he was not an actual Israelite. He was not of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and well, he was of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but he wasn't an Israelite. Well, not Jacob, Abraham and Isaac, because he was an Edomite. Okay, Paul's kinsman was the Herodians. Okay, so he was not a part of the Israelites. Paul, the self-proclaimed apostle, was an Edomite, okay, though he claimed to be a part of the tribe of Benjamin, and he was mistaken according to the scripture, okay. Acts 21:37 said he was mistaken for an Egyptian, okay, and he claimed to be of the tribe of Benjamin, all right. But you can also read in them scriptures that his kinsman was the Herodians, and you know the Herodians to be Edomites. Now, Genesis 10:6, the sons of Ham is Cush, Mizraim, which is Egypt, Put, all right, and Canaan, okay. Psalms 78:51, and smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the chief of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham, okay. Psalms 105:23, Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham, okay. Psalms 106:22, wondrous works in the land of Ham. Okay, now the land of Ham is what you would call today Africa. Okay, the continent of Africa. Although parts of Africa belongs to Shem. Okay, according to what their inheritance was. All right. Let me make sure you guys can see. Okay, thank goodness. Whew. 1 second. I think that's all the receipts I'm going to show you guys, okay? But I've shown plenty of these receipts. Here's from the actual Zondervan Bible's dictionary. This is a screenshot from the actual dictionary. So you can see, you know, we didn't just pencil this in, all right? This is a screenshot from the actual dictionary, okay? Ham, okay? Why does it say perhaps hot? Because they know that they got the hot lands. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor of the quote-unquote dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, which I guess is Put, okay, and Canaanites, okay. Genesis 10:6-20, okay. Now, there's a curse upon Canaan. Now, the whole world has been indoctrinated to believe that we, so-called African Americans, are the seed of Canaan. No, we're not, okay? We're the seed of Shem, okay? And we lost our inheritance of this land, okay? It's been trodden down by the worst of the heathen. Oops. Where am I at, people? I'm trying to go to Chrome. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Now. Now, this is the scripture. I'd rather use the KJV on this, actually. Now, it says, God shall enlarge Japheth. Okay? But it wasn't the Most High, the Great Spirit, the living power that did this. No, he allowed it to happen, but it was Satan that was given power in this time. Okay? This was Satan's time to rule. And I'm not saying that all Europeans, all Caucasians, all of the seed of Japheth is wicked and controlled by Lucifer. However, the Gentiles, most of them as a whole, is persuaded by money, okay, and materialistic things. This is within the scripture, okay? So it was Satan that enlarged them, okay, caused them to increase and dwell in the tents of Shem. And they have been dwelling in the tents of Shem, okay? They've been using the Hamites, okay, as their servants, as well as us, okay? They've been using all the melanated people of the earth as their servants. Okay? Now, hold on a second. Let's go ahead and continue, people. Because I thought it was going to be something I needed to say, but I forgot what I was going to say. So, let's go ahead and continue.
But we're different shades, you know, different shades of copper colored, you know, brown, cinnamon, you know, but not black, okay? The black is literally a stigma, all right? It's a label with many negative connotations attached to that they literally slapped upon us.
I seen them, you know, I seen them. I'm like, and they treating other people wrong online because they felt as though they got some type of integrity or some type of leverage because they're carrying an ID. That don't mean shit. Really. That don't mean nothing. I get to walk up on a reservation. Nigga, we get to walk up on reservations all day long.
In the hood.
Oh, we gonna get locked up for walking in there, nigga? Stop playing. Like they got control over their own government. And guess who got control over their government?
The
federal government.
The federal government. Mm-hmm. Federal government.
Their control is obsolete. Like, what are you talking about? They allowing you to do that. What, we gonna get locked up for walking in there, nigga? Stop playing. Like they got control over their own government. And guess who got control over their government? The federal government. Their control is obsolete. Like, what are you talking about? They allowing you to do that. Like, what? Your enemy said, let them feel good about themselves by having their own government. That's not solving the thing, is it? You right back to square one. The whole point is that you being governed, you being controlled by a foreign entity. And then you got the nerve to call your nation a family. And y'all not working together. Because if your nation was a family, then why I gotta have a board of people to dictate what goes on within that nation?
Wow.
That don't sound like a family. That sound like a business to me. That sound like a corporation to me.
Yep, that does sound like
don't it? Because that's what it is.
Yep.
We ain't nothing but another corporation.
And that's exactly what the United States of America is.
No. Yeah. That's exactly what the United States of America is. Let me show you. And it's getting ready to crumble. Okay? Because this is the height of their wickedness. Alright? You refuse to restore the Aboriginal people. Okay? You want to keep us utterly impoverished. Refuse to lift a helping hand to us. You know? Despite us showing you all this evidence that everything was ripped and robbed from us. You know? You don't care about that, all right? You choose to bury your head in the sand, so just understand that your time is coming to a abrupt end, okay? Now, the United States is not a country. It is a federal corporation, okay? You can look it up, all right? Yeah, you can look it up, all right? It is a federal corporation, an agency, okay? Make sure you can see. Department, commission, board, or other entity of the United States or an instrumentally of the United States, okay? And I showed you how we were property, okay? As African Americans, being classified as African Americans, you know, we're their property, okay? No human rights, okay? As a matter of fact, my Photoshop is out of... Nah, Alright, that's good. Now, let's go ahead and continue.
And that's exactly what the United States of America is. USA. The United States of America is a corporation. That's why you have a president, okay? You can only be president of like a corporation, okay?
And the federal government still got its finger on your nose and its foot on your neck. So don't go out there acting like you better than somebody else because you card carrying. Don't be beating people up in the comments or other people's videos. Don't do that. You in the same predicament as they in. You ain't nobody. And you ain't no better than anybody. You ain't got no type of rank. You ain't no type of war chief here. None. And don't call yourself a warrior when you still pinned down by the federal government and ain't making no noise. But yeah, and this is another reason why it's very important for you all to go ask Grandma. Go ask her.
Both my grandmas are gone, bro. And it really sucks because I would have loved to talk to my grandmothers about this, but they both passed. Both my grandmothers passed before I could have this conversation with them, bro. And they passed recently, you know, right before I woke up to this realization. But, so I no longer have my grandparents to talk to them.
Both passed after the year 2010. I think my mother's mom, my grandmother on my mother's side, she passed I think around 2012 or so. And then my grandmother on my dad's side, I think she passed around 2017 or so. Okay? But it was before I woke up to the realization that, you know, we were Indians, but I do remember it being said a lot in my family, you know, but it was being dismissed, you know. It was like in the back of my mind, though, as I was hearing my family members, you know, discuss it and say, I've heard it a lot within my family that there's Indian in our family, okay? So, and now I have the records. I have the proof of it, okay? So can't nobody tell me that I'm delusional and or out my mind. I know who I am. First, the Spirit came to wake us up in the land of our captivity and bring back to remembrance of who we are, okay? And then my dad sent me documents, okay? Documentation, all right? And clearly on that documentation is showing who we are. Okay, it was showing who I am. Okay, showing who my family is. Okay, ethnicity, American. Okay, my great-grandmother in the 1910 United States Federal Census. Okay, before they started reclassifying us. All right? So you even see in the early 19th century, we knew who we were. Okay, our ethnicity wasn't changed by then. Okay, not all the way. Okay? Even in 1920, my great grandmother, okay, my great grandfather, all right, in 1910, my great grandfather, and in 1920, United States Federal Census, okay, my great grandmother was known as American ethnicity, okay? So, and we had land, okay? We still have land. All right, but it's, you know, I have to go through my family, you know, my dad, and, you know, they're indoctrinated with this monetary system and complacent in a lot of things.
I do have my uncle and aunt, but they don't recall, being called Indian. I'm going to try to talk to them about it again, because I know that there was a lot of fear mongering back then. They were threatened. Many people were threatened to not refer to themselves as Indian and, refer to this as their land. They would kill you, okay? Like, literally, this was the reason for a lot of the hangings, all the lynchings, okay? They will silence you from talking about how this is your land and claiming your tribe of your land. They started slaughtering us for that. So many of our people developed a complex, so they'll outright just deny ever having heard anything about being Indian. And I think that might be what happened to my uncle and aunt that's up in age. They helped to raise me and my brother, But I'm not going to keep going, bro. I'm going to get that.
Because you gotta know that a lot of what I've been stating is the truth. Because why in the world are we being attacked by people that look like you and I? One. Two, folks that's foreigners that's calling themselves natives to this land. Three, other foreigners that's want to fit in with us. Because this is the biggest deal right here. You're gonna notice that everybody that was promoting the black this, black that gonna switch up. I've been saying this, they're gonna switch up. But this is not no cult, no covert, no none of that. This ain't none of that. It's about the truth. But watch them though, because if they ain't talking about their own individual family, then they got their own agenda. Most of it could be some, for monetary gain. They see that it's a meal ticket. So they're going, hop on the newest trend. That's what they've been doing. And it's not about you saying that you Indian just to make you feel good. It's about you knowing who your people are. And representing it. And representing it. And representing it. And representing it.
And that's what it is, bro. Represent the truth. Live the truth. Alright, on that note, shalom.
Now, let me take you back over here. You see this? This is a matrix, and we are prisoners of war up under their unjust, unfair, fraudulent system that they built on our land. Now, if you continue to refuse to join yourself to righteousness and choose out of your free agency to help us, then hey, it's your choice, it's your decision, and a valley of your decision, okay? You don't have much more time. Now, 1 second. The walls don't lie, people. The walls don't lie. The original people. America, the land of milk and honey. The African American is not African. You see these people? Columbus discovered this people. He encountered this people. Okay? I'm not going to read all of this, bro. It's too hard to read it that small. They covered all of this up. Hid who we were because they coveted our land. And people are comfortable and complacent with this. Camels were here pre-colonization. You see these figures? From 1706. Frankfurt, Germany. It's made of pearl. Camelopes was the last of the large North American camels, while this term here was a large llama that has an extensive fossil record in both North and South America. Now, I don't agree with everything that they say talking about millions of years ago, bro. Hold on, people. This is what the Most High says. Isaiah 49:7. The Most High, the Redeemer and Holy One of Israel, says to the one who is despised and rejected by the nations, to the one who is the servant of rulers, kings will stand at attention when you pass by. Princes will also bow low because of the Lord, the faithful one, the Holy One of Israel, who has chosen you. Your despise and rejection has not gone unwitnessed by the Great Spirit. Yeah, I know I'm very despised and hated of this world, but I am loved by my Maker. And I love my Maker. And I'm going to continue to do the work that I've been given, despite how it's been widely rejected. But it doesn't matter, because you are in the valley of decision, and it's time to make your choice. Shalom.